everybody, welcome back to FTL Fridays. We are picking up where we left off last time. Last time we didn't have a total failure, but we did have a bitter defeat when we went through the Osprey 1. We got all the way to stage 8. We were able to do fairly well, and we ended up getting hit with a fair bit of unfortunate RNG, which caused our ultimate demise. And we were not able to secure victory. So, in keeping with tradition, we are moving on to the next ship, which is the Zoltan Cruiser. And I know I said this about a bunch of ships already, but the Zoltan Cruiser is, seriously, this time, one of my absolute favorites. If you can unlock this ship, or if you have this ship early, I definitely recommend you get it. The reason being is it has a Zoltan shield to start with. This cannot be underestimated. The Zoltan shield is basically it prevents any damage, period. So it gives you 5 free hits worth of damage, which if you're having problems dealing with missiles, this is a good one to have, because you do really well against those first missiles. You almost always get to do your opening attacks before they do. So I have beaten the game with the Zoltan ship before. You can see that on the victory here. So I do have. I also have another version of this. I'm going to play on the standard one to start with. This one here's got some hardcore ion stuff and another beam weapon, but I'm going to play on the initial one to start with. We're going to keep it on easy, just like we always have been. We are going to flock through this one and see how far we can get, and maybe we can get another victory out of this one. So in terms of what I want to call this one, I called the last one the Osprey, I called the other one the Taurus, I called the other one the Kestrel. So it makes sense that I would call this one the Adjudicator rather than calling it the Zoltan ship. I mean, I called this one the Federation. I did call this one the NG once in a while. I mentioned that I was the NG person. I called this one, actually the Kestrel Cruiser was just the actual name of it. So it's called the Kestrel and it's a Kestrel Cruiser. But this NG Cruiser is called the Taurus. The Federation Cruiser was called the Osprey. The Zoltan Cruiser is called the Adjudicator. So, we're going to call it Adjudicator 1 to indicate that this was the first time that we tried the Adjudicator, and we'll see how good or bad it goes. As always, we're also playing on the Advanced Edition. I cannot stress that enough. You want to use the Advanced Edition. So we are in Advanced Edition enabled, easy mode, first layout, and we're loaded up with all these Zoltan guys who are energy producers, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. We'll get into that as we start, but we basically start out with a little bit short in the reactor department, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. So here we go, Sector 1, just as it always is. So notice our reactor is a little on the weak side. We can't even really power our weapons because we're short on energy. So we could put one more in here, but ultimately what it's going to require is either moving the engine guy into here, but then it takes away from there, or ultimately we take off our shield. But this is pretty much normal for most of our... still not enough, actually. Try that. Well, I guess that's what it is. We're not going to be able to use our missile weapon. We're gonna have to find some scrap right from the start. So actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and spend my first little bit of scrap and buy another energy bar, because I'm not dealing with this. Oh, I know what it is. It's not that I didn't have energy. It's I don't have strong enough weapon. This is 3 here, and this is another one, so it's 4. So I kind of wasted that little bit of energy, but realistically, if these guys have to leave to go heal something, let's say my sensors go down in the middle of a fight, if I send this guy out there, I've now just taken away power from my weapons. That's if you don't have another one on hand, it ended up pulling from my shields instead. So you have to be very cautious about that. So having extra energy on hand is certainly something that you want. So I'm going to try and find a way to get that missile back up soon enough, but let's take a look at our loadout first. The equipment, halberd beam, required power, does 2 damage per hit. So what that means is this beam weapon is better than your typical beam weapon in that it can pierce through the first layer of shields. So I don't even need my missiles to start with, because I'm going to be able to soak damage while this charges up. So I'll easily be able to take 5 hits in the first 17 seconds. shouldn't be a problem there. So let's jump in there and take a look at where we're going to go here. The bottom here, we're going to only be able to go up through the nebula, so it's not a good idea to go through there. Something tells me that there's probably something good down in here, but realistically, don't buy into that logic, because most of these nodes are just random. If you were to like try and save your save file somewhere and then come back in, these nodes would be completely different. So don't bother trying to get down here thinking there's going to be something magical down there, because a lot of times all it does is it boxes you in and the fleet catches up with you. So we're just going to work our way up here and work our way around. Actually, no, we can't go around because there's only one way out of that one. So we're going to leave these top two nodes. We're pretty much forced to go through this nebula here. I guess that's happening. So we're going to go to this one here first, and then we'll work our way back down and hopefully get out of here alive. Alright, so outfit for combat. He wants to do mercenary. I would love to do mercenary work, so absolutely. Let's just hope it's not too far out of the way. Of course it had to go down. Well, I'm going down anyway, so I'll just go here, 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 and then back up. I'm going to burn through a lot of fuel, I think, but we want to get off to a good start. That's the main thing with any ship. You want to get off to a good start. So weapons, 1 shield, a little bit of evasion. Let's take this guy down and get warmed up here. So now, it doesn't really matter. 1 shield, we can cut through it, so I can actually just auto-fire here. I don't need to worry about timing it with my missile, and it's actually not a very long beam weapon, so use your best judgment and try to hit as many rooms as you can. So in certain cases, you're only going to be able to hit so many rooms. In this case here, I can hit 4, 1 damage each, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have to hit him 3 times, so he's going to get some pot shots on me, but fortunately he doesn't have any missile weapons, so we'll auto-fire, let this one go, and he'll be dead eventually. Unless he gets lucky after he gets through my Zoltan, that he's able to take my, hit me with that beam weapon right as he does his energy thing. But in this case, I mean, I just toasted him bad there. I mean, that was a big hit on him. I didn't expect it to do that much damage, actually. I roasted him pretty bad. Oh yeah, love me some scrap here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna increase my weapon right from the start, just so that I have the missile weapon on hand. And actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and spend my scrap. So make sure I'm in a good position. That's all. Make sure both of these are armed. Basically, we're at a new 0 point, so we're not that far along where we can afford to do some stuff like that. More importantly, though, it's not that I want to keep the Lido. It's if I find a better weapon. Having a different weapon alongside of this is also going to be a good thing to have, like a heavy laser. Those are some nice ones to have. All right, let's work our way down, save that quest point, and then try and get out of here with a successful Sector 1. Asteroid field, these are always dangerous to do. So basically a couple things could happen. You could just take 5 hull damage just out of the blue. You could get thrown into a battle inside an asteroid field, which I'm okay with because I do have the Zoltan shield up. And it's early enough in the run where even if I take hull damage, I'll be able to repair it eventually. So let's give it a whirl. We're in an asteroid field, so I'm not worried about that. We'll be able to soak the first couple of asteroids, and actually I feel like we'll be able to soak damage from him too. He's going to do the confusion thing. That's the only thing that's going to bug me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up Halberd Beam, and then I'm going to also set up my Leto. I'm actually going to set that up on auto fire and just make sure he can't ever get his shields up, so he'll get killed by asteroids and by my Leto. And unfortunately, see, if you try to do the math here, you can't hit 4 nodes with these edge points. No way you can get 4 rooms on there like that. Unless we do something like this. That's what you gotta do. That's how we hit 4 rooms. I can't target his weapons though, but I feel like I don't need to. I think this is going to damage him fast enough, because if his shields go down from the asteroids, he's going to take an absolute shit ton of damage from me. So I'll let the chips fall as they may. I think I only need, honestly, one halberd beam to kill him. Because his shield's going to go down. Mine is too, though. Okay, so he's going to surrender missiles and a little bit of scrap. I feel like I want to let him die, but that is a lot of missiles. Ultimately, I'm not planning on using missiles, and I have a long time to get more missiles, but I do want more scrap early, or fuel, so I'm going to say no to this, and hopefully I'm not getting hit with an asteroid when my shield is still down. That's the only downside here, but that's going to happen even if I accept his surrender, so he can die. Shield came back up just in time, but there's an asteroid that's going to hit it, so 2 missiles, 25 scrap. And there's the 1 damage that I took because of the stupid shields. There's another one. It's that ion weapon. I got to get this guy in the shield. That's bad news bears there. Get my steering wheel column too. So that's pretty much worst case scenario. And just to add fuel to the fire, literally. That's just a string of bad luck there. The fact that all that stuff happened in a matter of 3 seconds. That's insane. Absolutely insane. It's going to cause even more damage when it hits that room there. That is such a crock. I don't often say it's a crock of shit, but this was a crock of shit. Should not have taken that kind of damage. But that's what it is. Alright, I can't even close this stuff up. God, that's even worse now because I can't close these doors and heal my door room. So, we gotta make sure we're gonna send those guys into the heal room because they're gonna take a whole bunch of damage here. Man, that could not have been more inconvenient. Absolutely inconvenient. So, get these guys fix the door room so I can actually close the doors. In the meantime, they're dying. It's insane. Totally insane. And this is Sector 1. Can you imagine if this was like Sector 7? Such a pain in the ass. Alright, doors are good. Let's close this off and finally get out of here. This is an embarrassing start to this. Took 4 hull damage already. Alright, return. Do that, do that. Gotta wait for guys to get in there. There's my energy. Energy comes and goes with the guys leaving the room, so we need more crew members ASAP too, but honestly I'll be happy just to get out of this first sector alive because this is embarrassing. Alright, so weak laser against mine, not a problem there, so I should be able to hit 4 rooms here. And I don't even think I need the missile weapon up. I'll keep it on deck in case I want to shoot something, but that's not even going to be necessary until my Zoltan shield goes down. He's only got a single laser. He's not taking that shield down anytime soon. So there's no reason for me to waste my missiles. Not in the slightest. In fact, if he doesn't heal his shields like right now, he's toast. Now I wish all of them were this easy, but they're not all this easy. And realistically, I probably shouldn't have gone in that asteroid field anyways, but this is nice. That was very, very generous. So now we're back to not really having an issue. So we got charge late. We can't afford anything. That's what sucks. That's what really sucks. We can't even afford anything. We could sell the Lido, but then we don't have a missile weapon. And it really comes down to if we sell the Lido, what are we going to buy instead? So Ion Charger requires 2 power. I don't even have enough to equip that. So I feel like I still want it though. I could rock dual halberd beams, which is always pretty fun. But I just do not have I don't have the scrap to set this up right now. So I do like the idea of the Ion Charger though. I think I'm actually going to buy this and I'm going to just do fine with the halberd beam for now anyway. So I'm going to sell the Lido. It's good for 10. That'll give me 53, and that'll allow me to buy that, so that's fine. I won't be able to equip it right away, but that's okay. But once I can equip it, we need how much more? 50 and plus another one or two of these. We'll call it 90. But once I get that, then this is going to be just as good as the missile weapon, because if I save up charges here, I can take out up to 3 layers of shield and delay them too. So not just you know, do damage to them, but I can totally open it up for my halberd beam. So I feel like that's a safe bet right now, but we'll see if that comes back and bites us. Alright, automated ships. This is where the Zoltan really shines, is when enemies have missile weapons, because you're going to be able to soak that damage, and other ships just cannot say that. So I am going to actually send my halberd beam at their weapon side, because I do not want to deal with that missile weapon. So hopefully this takes out missiles, which he ended up switching back to it anyways, but his other one is down. So I have another shot before anything goes bad. And he couldn't have done hacking anyways because of my Zoltan shield, but he's dead now because that's going to take out the rest of his missile weapon. So nothing he can do. So this is where the Zoltan is amazing, because you can deal with that missile damage where no other ship can do that. So even if it's a little bit slow waiting for this to charge, you know, still get a kill with no damage, so we'll take it. Alright, Nebula. This is where things get hairy. I am very anti-Nebula. Nothing to worry about here. We're going to do a little 4-banger there. I don't think it's possible to hit 5 now with the way the edges are. We would have to try and... Nope, it's just a little bit too short. Not quite gonna do it, so we'll just go this way. Steering, so you can't get away. Shields, weapons, and engines. Pretty much the full enchilada. And his weapon, beam weapon, and energy weapon, so he's gonna hit me for 4 of my shields right off the bat when he hits those, because that heavy laser will be 2, and that beam weapon will probably be 2 as well. Yep, there's 4. And now it's gonna be my turn though. 1 shot. Adios. So depending on how you do your beam weapon, if you hit the shield room first, you can knock out the shields, and then the other ones actually do more damage because you actually are not blocked by the shield. So it's smart to try and target the shield first, but it's not always possible. So I like that there's a store here. I don't like that I don't have the ability to buy anything. So I'm going to hit distress, and then I'm probably just going to get out of here, because if scrap is in short supply, there's not much I can actually do. Alright, this is one of those... actually, we'll take him home to his family. I don't want to join the crew. Maybe I do. I usually don't like bringing people on my ship because they turn into madmen and they kill somebody. Anytime you take somebody home to a planet, you usually get some sort of reward, so I'm going to do that. And the only reward was a ship repair, which sucks. That was a waste. Store we're going to leave. We'll do distress number 2. Yeah, I should have just invited him to my crew. Giant spiders are no joke. I don't think I want... These guys are not fighters. If I had a rock person, I'm almost certain that these guys will get killed by that. So unfortunately, I can't... It's an RNG one that I just don't like to do. I've lost so many crew to giant spiders that I've pretty much stopped doing it. I would recommend that you stop as well. Alright, so we're at 12 fuel. I mean, it's pretty rough stuff. I'll do one more node before leaving. I need the scrap, so maybe I can get lucky here. Alright, so as I said, makes sense to take out the shield room first, because this does 2 per room, but if there's a shield, it does 1 per room. So if it goes here, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. If it goes here, it'll be 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. He should be dead in one hit. That should be what's happening. So always try to target the shields first. Always, always, always. And unfortunately that's a futile effort because he won't even be able to get through on the next turn either. And there's the 7 damage, just like I said. 21 for that, plus the civilian ship, and he bailed. Alright, since I'm committed to the ion laser here, or the ion charger, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in. I can't quite do that, but I can equip this. I have enough energy laying around where I can actually do that. So now I'm sitting pretty good because I can let those charge up. So my guess is there will probably be a store starting with Sector 2, and maybe something better would be in there, but I didn't have a lot of scrap anyway, so this is going to be fine. So I can actually attack somebody. Let's fend for ourselves and get one little bit more out of here. So notice how this charges pretty quickly. I can get 2 ion chargers just without doing anything. And since I have time to let this charge, I don't have to attack. That's the best thing about the Zoltan shield. So now I can throw ion charger on the shield. I can throw it on his weapon. I can really throw it on anywhere, but I'm going to throw it on his shield to start with. And then once the shield goes down, then I will come in and do this here. And hit all these rooms, and it might actually flat out kill him. There goes his shield. Pretty damn close. But he's dead in the water. He's so dead. And I'm just going to let that ion thing just keep going. So honestly, I don't even need to charge that ion thing. I can just let that thing go right from the start. And realistically, once the shields go down, I can cycle between this hitting their shields and their weapons. It's actually going to be a pretty good deal. Alright, next sector. So looking at the map, we have a lot of hostile sectors. Like a lot. Like an absurd amount of hostile sectors. So being that these civilian sectors are few and far between, what I think we're going to do, these guys, these Zoltan, are not fighters. So going into Mantis is a death sentence. We're already going to have to go to one here, which very well could be Mantis. I'm going to go to civilian first, and then we'll go to one of these other ones first. So we'll see which ones these are, and then we'll see how we want to hit up these other nodes. There's so many red ones out here. I feel like we're going to get a lot of scrap and a lot of stuff, but we also need to play it somewhat safe and maybe go for some of these green ones here as well. So we might just go all the way on the downside here and hit all those, or we could go green, green, red, green, red, green, red, red. I mean, we'll hit plenty there. Just stay away from the nebulas. So unfortunately for you, though, that is going to be next week. So until then, we will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.